When adult issues affect our kids, it's concerning. When they kill our kids, it's devastating, heartbreaking. But it keeps happening. So much so, this scourge of opioid and fentanyl overdoses we're seeing is no longer an adult issue. It is a public health crisis. Yearly drug overdose deaths continue to shatter records, now up nearly 16% from November 2020 to 2021, the latest data available. That's nearly 107,000 men, women, and children. Synthetic opioids like fentanyl are blamed for the majority of those deaths. In fact, fentanyl poisoning is now listed as the leading cause of death for Americans ages 18 to 45. But it's also taking people even younger. We've already seen a real impact here at home. 16-year-old Ethan Everly died in March after taking a pill he didn't know was laced with fentanyl. Sadly, this is a story becoming more and more common by the day. It's why law enforcement agencies and school districts are ramping up their messaging to warn kids about the dangers of fentanyl, a potent drug used for treating severe pain. The scary part for parents is it's being mixed into counterfeit pills, and it's so powerful, just a fraction of a pill can kill.
When they think they're taking something like a Xanax, it might be laced with fentanyl, and they don't know that. And so it's very serious and very dangerous. And so the more we can educate students, certainly, but also their parents or guardians about that, the better.
Now, we've seen a number of education summits at schools in our area across the metro. And as parents and families work to navigate this threat, the DEA and other agencies are working to get those pills and fentanyl off the street. In fact, the White House recently made moves to fight the crisis, coming out with a new national drug control strategy. It involves going after drug trafficking and profits and boosting harm reduction efforts, along with prevention, working to address untreated addiction for people at risk of an overdose.
We need to meet people today where they are and help them move forward to not only saving their lives, but making sure we're getting them into treatment.
With this new strategy, the federal government would also work to expand access to naloxone, also known as Narcan, which can reverse opioid overdoses. That's in tandem with a focus on prevention and early intervention. So will it be enough to stop these deaths from happening at a record rate? Joining me now to get to the heart of the matter is David Roberts, Program Director of the Crossroads Program. It's a treatment center in KC focusing on young people and teens. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks, Cody.
I'm curious to get your thought on what you're seeing these past now 2+ years as the pandemic has gone on. Has the situation gotten worse?
I think so, absolutely. You know, I can't tell you I've specifically seen opioid abuse getting worse, but drug abuse in general, mental health issues, yeah, all of it's skyrocketed.
I feel
sure.
This is especially scary for parents and families when you're seeing counterfeit pills being added into the mix, and then just this tiny, just a pinprick of fentanyl can kill.
Yep.
What are you telling people who are going through your treatment program about watching out for these types of drugs?
Yeah, it's really scary stuff. It's what I've watched this manufactured, this illegally manufactured fentanyl do is totally take away the barriers between young people and opioid addiction. You know, back in the day when it was, you know, heroin, it's terrible, and there's more of a opposition, you know, to using a drug like that. But now with fentanyl, it's kids are starting younger and younger and becoming opioid addicts really early.
And we know that prevention is such an important part of this, and there are efforts like what we see in Clay County. They do drug education summits quite a bit,
Right.
and many other counties and school districts do this. But aside from the accidental poisonings and overdoses, addiction is real. Can you tell us about the scope of what you're seeing right now?
Yeah, you know, listen, what I believe is that, and what I see is that drug abuse continues to get to become more and more acceptable from an early age. From everything from the way that people abuse marijuana like it's nothing, you know, from a really young age to the acceptability that creates in all drug abuse. And so, you know, I mean, my experience is I started abusing drugs heavily at 12 years old. And it got really out of control really quick, and I watched that every day in our program.
Why is it becoming more accessible, you think, and more mainstream?
That's a very tough question.
Yeah.
You know, as time goes on, the envelope continues to get pushed. You know, we always make jokes about, you know, you think about, we work with people's parents and what were they doing when they were a teenager to rebel compared to what teenagers are doing to rebel now. It's not even the same world. You know, so the envelope keeps getting pushed, and I think past that, like I said, I think especially with other drugs being more acceptable from such a young age, I just think it's easy for the quote-unquote harder drugs to come into the picture.
Yeah, and that's a frightening thought for sure.
Yep.
There was the latest survey on national drug use and health showed of the 41 million people who needed treatment for substance abuse disorders, only 2.7 million got treatment at a specialty treatment facility within that last year. Explain the challenges you face, especially right now.
Yeah, you know, it's to me there's multiple challenges in there. Obviously, financial is always huge. You know, getting into treatment and then finding a good treatment program. You know, that's not going to cost you $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 is that's honestly tough. So, you know, between that, I also think the reality is. When I was abusing drugs, I didn't want to get sober. You know, no part of me wanted to get sober. You know, so it's hard for a drug abuser to get to a point of the willingness to change. And honestly, it's very hard for a family to see when that's going on with their kid. Yeah. You know, I think about no parent, you know, wants to wind up with a young person that has a drug problem or wants to wind up, you know, a part of a drug abuse program. So it's really hard to make those initial moves to get someone evaluated and get them in front of a professional and do something about it.
Does this White House plan that focuses on harm reduction, does that help in your mission as far as trying to get people, wean people off drugs as well when tied with early prevention?
Listen, in our mission specifically, you know, in where I work and what our philosophy is, it doesn't exactly line up. You know, a lot of what we're doing is really about total abstinence and about getting somebody completely sober, showing them a better way of life than using drugs. And our success, just by our model, has been in doing that right away, cold turkey, working with the whole family and trying to make those changes. I'm sure that approach has kept some people alive and works in different situations, but it's really not my wheelhouse. You know?
We know that, as we said, Crossroads specializes in helping younger people with drug and alcohol rehabilitation.
We love what we do, and we get to work really closely with families. And again, you know, when we're hopefully starting with people as young as, I mean, as old as 25, but as young as someone like me who is 14, you know, it's much more about getting in there in personal relationships with the family and helping everybody look and be willing to dig deep and change their part. So,
well, we appreciate all the work you're doing, saving lives of young people in our area. David Roberts with Crossroads, thank you very much.
Thanks, Cody. Appreciate it.
Remember, if you need help battling substance abuse, help is out there. For more info, call this number, 1-800-662-HELP. It's a national hotline set up by the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration. It's free and confidential and available 24/7. You can also go online to findtreatment.gov for help.